Hi, Assalamualaikum, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ahmad Nazrin, and I am the leader of this group. My fellow member is Alia Nabila, Azrana, and Asha Alia. So today we're going to do a incomplete record question. So let's read the question first. So Sandy Lee owns a florist shop. She does not keep proper books of account. She supplies with the following information for the financial year ended 31st December 2016. So this is the summarize for the bank account, and this is the additional information, and this is also for the asset and liabilities. Okay, so the question require us to do a statement of comprehensive income and statement of financial position as at 31st December 2016. Okay, first thing to do is we need to do the journal for the additional information. So this question saying all the business taking has been paid into the bank account except for the following. So we know that wages and going is paid by cash. So debit is wages and credit is so the nilai is 140 140. Okay, so the second one is drawing. So debit drawing and credit the value is 1385 and 1385. So step one you need to find the total sale. So Azana, how are we going to do this?
Okay, first we have to credit the balance for BD, which is 117, is cash in hand. The title for the ledger is cash in hand. BD is 117.
Oh, go back.
Okay.
117.
Yes, 117.
Okay.
And the wages will be debited. The amount is 7140.
Credited. Can.
Yes.
And then
Drawing also. 1385. The for account receivable, the BD balance will be credit, which is 72.
how much? 22.
72.
And then
credit balance CD also be debited with amount 48.
credited.
Yeah, credited. For the cash in hand, we have to total up the both side.
Side. The highest amount.
Yep. Bottom of the BD, we have to put the cash sales. With amount 8619.
It is.
The total is 8736.
Pasang. 8736.
It's 8736. Okay, the next part is for account receivable, balance CD is 48 and bank 51 723 in credit side.
And so we need to
So to find the total sales,
credit.
8619 plus with 51699. Credit sales plus with cash sales will get the total of sales. Total sales.
How much?
The total is 60318.
So the total sales is done. Now we need to find the total purchase. So Azana, how
For
to
the
find?
total purchase, we have to, the title for the account is account payable. Bank will be in the debit side, which is 28361. And the CD balance also in the same line, which is 346.
Then
For the BD balance and credit purchase will be in credit side.
the value is 210.
For BD, 210. And for the credit purchase is 28497. Total purchase is 28497.
So in this question, the cash purchase is not here because everything is, the purchase is credit. Okay, so the next one is we need to find the total depreciation. So Aisha, how are we going to do it?
So my name is Aisha and I will explain to find the total depreciation. To find the total depreciation, firstly we need to find out which one is non-current asset. So as stated here, the fixtures and van is the non-current asset. It is given fixtures and van is net book value, but if it's accumulated depreciation account, then you need to do two ledgers. So firstly, what fixtures account and van account ledger. For fixtures, fixtures PD is 600.
Which side? Debit or credit?
Debit
Is and then
so total 600 must be the same below for both sides.
then
Next, for balance CD is at the credit side, 550. And lastly, the depreciation is 60 ringgit.
then. So for motor vehicle,
For PD debit 8,000.
then
Balance CD is 6,000. And depreciation 2,000. To find total depreciation, 60 ringgit plus 2,000 equal to 20,000.
for total depreciation plus 2000 useful. And now the final step is to find the finance expenses for the expenses and income. So Alia, how are we going to do it?
Okay, for the fourth step is to find the total expense, is to find the expenses lah. How to find the expenses is to see at the question, either to the expenses appear more than once. So for this question, we see that rent and rates appear more than one. Here we have rent owing and rates prepaid, and the rent and rates So for the first ledger, we shall write the rent owing, accrued rent. So to start off with the accrued rent expenses, we shall start with the balance breakdown on the debit side. So for this question, we don't have rent breakdown looking at the 2015. So on the so on the credit side, we shall put it balance brought down totaling 0. Why we put the balance brought down on the credit side? Because accrued mean that we're in debt. We are there's a what's it called? Liability. We increase our liability. That's why we put it on the credit side. So and then we shall write the balance credit down totaling 600 ringgit on the 2016 on the debit side. So for this question, we shall see at the bank account. Here we got rent totaling 3,400. So the transaction would be debit rent and then credit rent. Sorry, debit accrued rent and then credit rent. So both totaling 3,400. So from here, we can see that how should we put it the section now. So on the debit side, we should put the bank totaling 3,400. And then we shall sum up the debit side. We shall get 4,000 ringgit. So from here, we can get the rent. The rent would be 4,000 ringgit. So we got the both on the debit and credit side is balanced. We shall move on with the prepaid rates. So for the prepaid rates, we shall start off with the balance brought down, totaling 74 ringgit on the debit side. Because why we put on the debit side, because prepaid, we pay in advance. When we pay advance, meaning someone or any other person is in debt with us, meaning they will make our, meaning they will be our assets. That's why we put it on the debit side. So on the next step is to find the balance carried down. So let's prepaid balance carried down on the 2016 is 86 ringgit. We shall put it on the credit side. Then to see at the bank account, the rates we paid 940 ringgit. So debit prepaid rates, credit rates, both totaling 940 ringgit. So from this transaction, we can see where to put it. So the bank, we shall put it on the debit side, totaling 940. Okay, so we have to sum up on the debit side. We will get 1,014. So from here, we can determine what's the rate. So from the 1,014 minus 86 ringgit, we shall get the rates totaling 928 ringgit. So for the total expenses, we just have to sum up the rent and rates, 4,000 ringgit plus 928. We shall get the total expenses of 4,928 ringgit.
Okay, that is all for step 1 to 4. So after we finish from step 1 to 4, we can now do the statement of profit or loss for the year ended 31st December 2016. So the first one is the sales amount. So Alia, how are we going to find the sales
Okay.
amount?
Okay, thank you. So for the next step to find the profit and loss, we shall begin with the sales. The sales would be the total of 60,318. How do we get the sales? Is from the first step of total sales. So for this question, we don't have written in words. So we will move on with the cost of goods sold or cost of goods sold, COGS. To begin with the COGS is to begin with opening inventories. So at the question, it already provided for the inventories. We shall take it the 2015, costing about 340. So for the next step is to take the purchases. The purchases is from the beginning at the step 2 total purchase. So the purchase is 28,497 ringgit. So for the next information is the closing inventory. So for the closing inventory, we thought the closing inventory at the question provided is 410. The closing inventories we shall minus it. So after that, we shall find the gross profit. How to find the gross profit is from the sales minus the COGS. So from the COGS, we can get it. The total is 28,427 ringgit. Then we have to find the gross profit is the sales 60,318 minus 28,427 ringgit. So we shall get for the gross profit is 31,891 ringgit. So moving on with the expenses, we don't for this question we don't have revenues, so we will move on with the expenses. So for the expense, take it from the ledgers. So for the first information for the expenses is the depreciation. Our total of depreciation is 2060. Then the next information is the rent. Rent amounting of 4,000 ringgit. Then we put the rates totaling 928 ringgit. So that's the information for the ledgers. We shall move on the information of expenses in the questions. So in the questions, insurance is an expenses, the totaling of 822 ringgit. Then for the next information is the advertising. Advertising is also an expenses, totaling 346 ringgit. So for the next information in the question is the heating and lighting, also known as utility bills, totaling amount of 1,825 ringgit. 1,825. So in the next information is the sundry expenses, totaling of 268 ringgit. Then the next information in the question is the motor expenses amounting 1,348 ringgit. And for the last information, better don't forget at the additional info is the wages. The wages amounting of 7,140. So from here, we get the total expenses of 18,737. 18,737. So we've done for the sales, cost of goods sales and expenses. Next step is to find the net profit. How to find the net profit is to take the gross profit minus the expenses. So 31 ringgit 891 31,891 minus 18,737. We shall get the net profit is 13,154 ringgit.
Okay, that's all for statement of profit and loss. So we're going to do the statement of financial position. At 31st December 2016. So Aisha, how are we going to do it?
Okay, firstly, the format for financial position with non-current asset, then current asset, then liabilities. So for non-current asset is fixture and motor vehicle.
And then
The cost for fixtures is 540.
and
Then for motor vehicles 6,000.
so we need to total up. So non-current asset is 6,540. So for the current asset,
Next, for current asset, firstly is account receivable. Then inventory. Cash. Bank, and lastly, prepaid rates.
so the amount is
Account receivable 48.
48. Closing inventory,
Inventory 410.
cash,
Cash 211.
bank,
Bank 3,894. 386.
and prepaid rates.
The total will be 4649.
4649. So total asset is non-current asset plus with total current asset. So we get here 11189. Okay, so for the this one, how are we going to do it?
Firstly, we find for liabilities. We find current liabilities first, then equity. liabilities. For liabilities, we take the N amount. Account payable and rent owing. Three, four, three, four, 6 and 600.
6 and 600. And then
So next for honest equity. Beginning capital 9. Beginning capital. Profit. Then since there's a drawing, like drawing. Capital 9641.
firstly, this amount is same as this. So 11189. So we need to find the total for owner equity. So current liabilities B, total equity and liabilities minus with current liability, we get total owner equity. So the amount is 10243. So Aisha, what is the amount of drawing?
11,167 plus 1,385. So the total will be 12,552.
So the net profit is
15,154.
2,054. So how do we find the capital? What do we must do?
For capital 9,641.
9,600.
641.
How you get this value?
So, the information lah.
Okay. To find the capital value from the owner equity, we need to plus the drawing and then minus the net profit. So we get the capital amount. So we are done with our question. So that's all from us. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.